Peace, y'all. Welcome to Gotham Oakland. This is your host, Seneca Scott. Today we're going to be talking about what else? The recall of Oakland's embattled mayor, Sheng Thao. Something that's been on my mind for the last couple weeks. It's really kind of pissing me off and irking me. It's how the media continues to ignore the over 40,000 Oakland voters who signed to get that recall on the ballot. And they also ignore the fact that we did it, turning those in 7 weeks early, where we had to thread the needle in order to file on time to get this recall on the November ballot. They're ignoring the fact that we set out to do this in January, and very few people believed that we would succeed, but yet we did. Did I mention those 40,000 Oakland voters who signed the recall petition? According to Mayor Sheng Thao, she believes that one affluent donor who contributed the lion's share of the recall's funding, thank you, shout out to our hero in Piedmont, somehow means that the 40,000 people who signed her recall, we don't mean much. Keep in mind, this is more than Sheng Thao received votes. Keep in mind that Sheng Thao received over 60% of her own money in the 2022 mayoral election outside of the city of Oakland. Keep in mind that Sheng Thao just held a fundraiser in Piedmont in order to pay for her recall bill. Unfortunately, she only raised $1,800. Nevertheless, she still held it in Piedmont. And one more thing that I always have to mention, Quinn Delaney and Wayne Jordan, the two most affluent and steady contributors to progressive politics, both directly to candidates and asymmetrically, to the tune of millions to nonprofits like the Anti-Police Terror Project, who they've given over $4 million since 2020, never, ever, 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 ever seem to come up. It's almost like Quinn Delaney and Wayne Jordan don't exist in the world of progressives until it's time for them to get a check. But it looks like the Delaney's have stopped spending, and maybe the FBI raids have something to do with it. But anyway, I digress. But I'm going to start by going back in time. Remember when Cat Brooks ran for mayor against Libby Schaaf? And remember when immediately after Libby won, Cat Brooks filed for a recall election? I know that memory hole is crazy. It was only this 2016 this happened. So 8 years ago, for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are lying to yourselves, 8 years ago, Cat Brooks made an attempt to recall Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. I'm going to share my screen really quick. And okay, let's take a little stroll through memory lane. July 12th, 2016. Group launching recall attempt against Oakland Mayor Schaaf. I wonder who this could be. A group of activists. I love how the activist label is given to people when they want to recall Libby by the SF Gate. They didn't give that activist label to us for some reason. It's just very interesting, the media bias, but I'll get back to that. Filed a notice of recall intent Tuesday to mount a recall against Mayor Libby Schaaf, saying she had failed to look out for African Americans, Latinos, and poor people in Oakland. Keep this in mind. Poor people in Oakland. She is not a mayor who cares about the lifeblood of this city. She is just catering to the new people who want to move here, said Cat Brooks, a staunch critic of the mayor and the co-founder of the Anti-Police Terror Project. So they saw police shootings and a worsening housing market for reasons she should be recalled. They wanted to recall Schaaf for the housing market. Imagine if we had tried to recall Tile for macroeconomic concerns not related to the actual leadership of a city, although they did, and they didn't receive any scrutiny from that. Separately, the group has called for Oakland to cut the police department's budget in half and give the money to community organizations. Come on, guys. They have been after this for a long time. Let me check my mic real quick. Let me do one thing real quick. Hold on. Check, check. Okay, I'm gonna go back. All right, I'm back. They have been after this for a long time. 2016, you're seeing that they wanted to defund Oakland's police department by half. This is before Nikki Bass was elected, who was elected in 2018. This was before Carol Fife was elected in 2020, when they were finally able to pull off their defund the police fantasies and dismantle OPD, causing the public safety crisis that you're seeing today. Let me go back and read a little bit more. The spokesperson for Shaft says that the mayor believes in a democratic process and that citizens have a right to criticize their elected leaders. She also believes that the majority of Oakland residents do not want to cut the police. Libby was right. What's really interesting is that they failed. Cat Brooks, you are not a good organizer as you claim to be, because you had to get 10% of 20,031 in 160 days, and you said that that goal was in reach, but you failed to reach the goal. I wonder why that is, because I didn't fail. We didn't fail. Our recall, shout out to Judge Brenda, is on the ballot. And I'm going to show you the people who helped put it there in just a second. But I want to go through some of the media coverage so you can get a sense of the bias and how differently they're treating us. And then I'm going to show some videos of the actual people who were signing the recall petition. And I want you to ask yourself, are these people Black, Latino, or poor? What's really going on here? And I have more videos that somehow, I've got a lot. I added a few, and you can go to my X and find lots of them. You can go to the Recall Sheng Thao X and find even more, as well as our YouTube. But I just wanted to show a few videos to illustrate my point. But first, let me go ahead and put out the first video. Okay.
Moving to Oakland now, where the recall efforts of Mayor Sheng Thao took a step forward as signature collection began on Saturday. Organizers at Jack London Square made their pitch to potential voters that the current mayor is to blame for Oakland's crime issues. But her supporters tell our Da Lin the problems predate her time in office.
Robberies, burglaries, and violent crime, all of them went up by double digits in 2023 compared to 2022.
See them bullet holes in that
Businesses
window?
shut
There
down,
go. Just
citing
Hagenberger
crime,
corridor.
especially along the Hagenberger corridor.
This specific
corridor.
area used
Yo,
to thrive
Dwayne.
on game day, whether it was the Raiders, the A's, the Warriors. It was amazing.
East Oakland native Dwayne Tatum lives near the Oakland Coliseum.
It's frustrating because you start thinking about all the economic activity you're losing.
With businesses gone, so are the jobs and tax revenue. He believes the job loss hits his community the hardest.
I was tired of complaining about it. I wanted to put feet on ground and actually try to turn this thing around. I'm tired of seeing, like, you got other cities that are thriving. We're headed the opposite way.
He's volunteering to collect signatures to recall Mayor Sheng Thao. He and other recall supporters blame the mayor for failing to apply for millions of dollars to fight retail crime.
I love how this is
They're
showing
upset
all
she
of the
fired police
crime
chief
the whole
Ron
time.
Armstrong
Oh, shout out
with
to
no permanent
Armstrong.
replacement
My
a year
man,
later.
what's up?
And
We
they say
don't
she
get it
lacks
back for getting
accountability
really
by
used. She should never
constantly
fired
pointing the
Chief
finger at
Armstrong. That's why
someone
she's getting
else.
released.
She is a failed leader. She has just done so much wrong in terms of leadership.
But Thao supporters say the recall is a waste of time and taxpayers' money.
It's disheartening when I see folks trying to recall
Look
a
at this
mayor
sellout.
who's only been in office for a
Sabir
year.
Lockett.
Sabir.
Now look, Sabir has not been back supporting the mayor in quite some time. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Did they have a falling out? I'm not quite sure what happened. But Sabir was bootlicking for Thao because his nonprofit, of course, gets money. Now, I would forgive people for not speaking out against the mayor, but this guy went above and beyond the call of duty. And I hope he's had a change of heart. If I ever see him, I want to look him in the eye and ask him, why did he take this mayor's side who obviously doesn't care about the working poor. But as you know, it is hard for a man to see something when his paycheck requires him to not see it. Upton Sinclair. Let's keep it moving.
Lockett supports Mayor Thao. He says crime has been going up in Oakland since 2019. He blames the previous mayor and the defunding of Operation Ceasefire for the rising crime.
Oh,
Mayor
remember the ceasefire
Shaft and
line?
Ron Armstrong administration that defunded ceasefire. This
Okay, first of all, ceasefire was defunded during COVID because we were social distancing and nobody was talking to each other. It wasn't defunded. It was put on pause, and the moment COVID was over, it continued again. Ceasefire is about interpersonal relationships between people in the actual street. That's nothing to do with retail theft. It has nothing to do with the rampant, violent, organized crime that we're seeing in Oakland. It has nothing to do with the encampment crisis. It has nothing to do with the illegal dumping crisis. Ceasefire was their old marketing gimmick or their old Darvo. They seem to have dropped it because the crime has gone up considerably, so they can't say that it works anymore. But they all get fed the script, right? They get a script of things to read, and they read off the script like mindless little puppets that they are. It's actually rather disgusting. And they always say the same thing, like trained little monkeys that they are. It's kind of, it's sad. I know Sabir. I've known Sabir for years. Sabir, if you're listening to this, come home, brother. Come home. You can apologize. We're not mean and evil like the people you hang out with. We will accept you back with a sincere apology. We absolutely will. With open arms. Come back home, brother. Come back home. You
current
ain't got to
mayor
be over there
is
with them.
refunding ceasefire. And I don't think that crime is actually any different today than it was 10 years ago.
He credits the mayor for hiring more 911
Oh, here they
dispatchers
go.
and
Look.
Any different
This
today
guy
than it
really doesn't
was
think
10
crime is
years
any
ago.
different.
He credits the
What an
mayor
idiot.
for hiring
Look
more
who it
911
is.
dispatchers
Three
and working with the
stooges.
state to install license plate readers to fight crime. He's
What
asking
happened to
voters to
that?
give Mayor Thao more time.
It's a culmination.
But Dwayne worries more time for Thao means more crime and business closure.
That's
I still
exactly
believe
what
in
it's meant.
Oakland. The good and the bad. I believe this city can actually be thriving instead of trying to survive.
Recall organizers aim to collect at least 25,000 signatures from Oakland voters by May. They want to get the recall on the November ballot.
Now, 25,000 we needed. Remember that.
Unity is like a weekly
We
personal
turned in 30,000. We turned in 30,000. I want you to think about that. 30,000. Not 25. We did it 7 weeks early in order to make a November ballot. Let's watch another one. That was a good one. Don Leonard's done a good job. Okay. Now, our movement was growing. This is in 5 months ago. 5 months ago, we put it on the ballot in June, 2 months ago. So 3 months before we placed the recall on the ballot. I'm over here watching nothing. Hold on. Let me try that again. Let's watch this next video.
Started back in January, and already proponents say they are confident. Good evening on this Saturday. I'm Christina Rendon. Today, a group leading the recall effort held a rally in Oakland. New at 10, KTVU's Tom Vakar was at that gathering. And Tom, how far along are these organizers?
Much farther than I think anybody realizes. It surprised me.
Yeah, we
Using
were.
a shuttered business for their stage, recallers say, in fact, they are succeeding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saturday afternoon saw yet another rally to recall Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao in what was once Restaurant Les Cheval, closed in part due to street crime.
She didn't inherit all of these problems. She caused a number of problems.
Retired
did.
Alameda Superior Court Judge Brenda Harbin Forte heads the recall petition.
People who say, give her more time to do what? She has ruined our city.
A recall is possible due to Oakland's ongoing bouts with brash criminal activity, missing a deadline to secure $15 million in state funding to combat retail crime, the recent spate of Hagenberger businesses closures, as well as the continuing failure of businesses closures, as well as the continuing failure to appoint a permanent police chief.
Look at the potholes, look at the homelessness, look at the jobs, look at the businesses that are leaving Oakland. And I'm mad as double HE hockey sticks.
Those wanting to dump the mayor must get at least 10% of Oakland's registered voters to sign a recall petition.
We did
25,000 of them by July.
Oh, what up, Jason?
And it looks like they'll beat that deadline by months.
12,500 people plus who have signed already to recall Mayor Sheng Thao.
A rainbow of recallers said if the recall gets on the November ballot and if it passes, Thao will be gone.
We are not getting the services that
We
deserve.
And
this crime is spreading.
We know that the voters made a mistake by voting for Sheng Thao. But as you can see with the signatures that we have collected, they are willing to correct their mistake.
She either resign or get recalled.
That's right. Look at the faces of these people. Do they look like right-wing Piedmont billionaires to you? And this is why Thao is being recalled. How did you get less than 1/3 of the votes and then turn around and diss more people than who voted for you in the actual election and think that somehow this is going to have you win and beat a recall when you can't get to hide from ranked choice voting? It's not making any sense. So I'm going to go play a couple more videos. I'm listening to see if they mention 40,000 voters, because it seems that after we made the ballot, you never seem to hear the amount of people who signed it. Never hear it. But first, before I get into that video, let me just show you what I'm talking about. You see this here? That is from the register of voters. Now, if you can read it, it's a little small. I don't know how to make it bigger here. I don't think I can. But it says that 40,654 people signed. And they had put just a small sample size. This is how this works. You don't actually have to count all of the ballots. The first thing they do is they take a sample size, and if you overperform in that sample size to a minimum threshold of 110%, which we had 118%, they don't even bother counting them all, because it's pretty much mathematically impossible that you will not meet the threshold of 25,000 signatures when we turn in over 40,000. We had to do that to make a November ballot. It takes them a month to count all of these things. If we had failed to meet prima facie, which is what it's called, if we had not overperformed in our signature gathering process, we would not have this on the ballot in November. It wouldn't be there. We planned to do this in January, and we succeeded because of our neighbors. We succeeded because people were flocking to our signing stations to get rid of this mayor. She is a massive failure, a massive failure. So anyway, let's keep listening. And I want to see if you hear them once mention how many people signed the actual recall ballot.
Oakland voters have a big decision coming up in November. They can kick Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao out of office. Today, the group behind the recall effort has now addressed their next steps. KRON 4's Tiffany Justice joins us now live from the newsroom to explain this process. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, Justine, there are a few more steps that need to be taken before voters could potentially see the recall initiative on their November ballots.
I've seen her before.
People in Oakland are hurting.
The group working to recall Oakland's mayor, Oakland United to Recall Sheng Thao, also called OUST, has gathered enough signatures to get the recall on the ballot. The Alameda County Register of Voters verifying those signatures. It is now up to Oakland City Council. They're set to meet on July 2nd, and they will decide on when the recall will happen, which will more than likely take place in November. The recall group asking the mayor to resign now and forego a special election that would cost the city $5 million.
The people have spoken. More people signed these petitions than voted for you as the first choice and the right choice by vote. Do the right thing by Oaklanders. Please, Mayor Sheng Thao. Resign now.
OUST claims Oakland has gotten worse since Thao has been in office, stating the main reasons for the recall are the
OUST claims. I'm gonna read these comments. I'm gonna read the comments after we watch the video just to make sure it's the OUST claims or it's pretty much the whole freaking city claim. Unless you're a soggy brain progressive who somehow thinks crime has not down in Oakland. It's the same as it has been for several years, even though businesses are shuttering and we're changing the name of our airport and none of our sports teams play here anymore and our mayor's being raided by the FBI, the IRS, and the post office of all places. And our mayor isn't even invited to Kamala's party, her big shindig she had. Every other elected official of note, including multiple mayors, were invited, but not Sheng Thao. But no, that's all normal. To our few remaining progressives who somehow always seem to be either new people who just move here, who somehow don't think that they're gentrifiers, weird, soggy people with dyed hair who don't pay their rent, who want to live for free, or a bunch of old hill hippies who are insulated above the 580 and who care very, very little about the working class or minorities that they use to virtue signal about incessantly. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the video.
Are the surge in crime, homelessness, and the firing of former Oakland Police Chief LaRon Armstrong. The mayor touts recent 2024 statistics from the Oakland Police Department that show homicides are down 17%, with 33% fewer violent crimes overall compared to last year. However, not all.
So see how often the media use those crime is down stats that we debunked? You see how often they try to use it? Oakland Police Officers Association, who demanded Thao resign just last week, said themselves that these stats are wrong, that they're faulty. But the media doesn't care. They continue to repeat these stats like mindless robots. Are they PR for the mayor, or are they supposed to be free news or fair and balanced news? It's really disturbing to me, the media bias. So let me keep going. That's why
all crimes are reducing. Robberies rose 11%, with residential robberies up by 118%. OUST says this effort marks the most successful ballot initiative in Oakland's history, with more than 40,000 signatures.
There have been a lot of ballots. Good job. Good job. Oakland side doesn't mention that. But who is this? They mentioned that.
Initiatives in Oakland. The fact that a recall election is the most successful ballot initiative in Oakland's history should frighten anyone who claims to care about what Oakland voters think. The fact that this recall has been led by the 3,093 overvotes, those are people whose votes were thrown away in the trash. We did not forget that Sheng Thao won by the slimmest margin in Oakland's history, 0.5%.
If Mayor Thao is
Ooh, that boy spitting. Who is that? That man needs to run for mayor, I think, or something, man. That dude right there, y'all are lucky to have that guy in Oakland. I have to tell you, he does so much for the city. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor of Gotham Oakland, for your contributions. I appreciate it.
Recall, there will be a special election to decide who will be her replacement.
Look at her face.
Now we have reached out to Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao's office for comment, and we are waiting to hear back. Reporting live in the newsroom, Tiffany Justice, Cron.
You're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear that. All right. Do we have any more? Okay, and we called on her to resign. We already showed that one. Okay, we're going to watch this one. And then we're going to move on to some other videos.
Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao was able to get the necessary number of signatures to place the recall on the ballot. ABC 7 News reporter Unser Hassan spoke with retired Judge Brenda Harbin-Forty, who is leading the campaign. She's calling on the mayor to resign before the November election.
Thao is toast. And my message to the mayor is this. The people have spoken.
Former Alameda County Superior Court Judge Brenda Harbin-Forty is president of the group Oakland United to recall Sheng Thao. On Tuesday, the city clerk informed them that they have the required number of verified signatures to get the recall on the November ballot. It's now up to City Council to vote to call the election.
And we expect the City Council to respect the will of the more than 40,000 people who signed those petitions.
There's that 40,000 again. So I should probably change my headline for media bias, but maybe I just pick the best articles for my own bias. I will say this. 40,000 people. 40,000 people signed that recall. So you've got this episode where someone says the people didn't support the recall. I want you to show them some of these videos. I'm going to go through our greatest videos. I love these. I love talking to every one of these people. We're going to start at the top, and then we're going to go through a little bit. And I'm just trying to drive a point home here. And here's the point that I'm trying to drive home. This is the will of the people. Cat Brooks, Black, Latino, poor, Oakland Flatlanders flock to the recall to get rid of Thao from Stockton, California, who's failed us. Why aren't you supporting it? Is it because they give money to your nonprofits to do nothing? Why are the progressives who supported the recall of Libby Schaaf not supporting the recall of Mayor Thao? Something's not adding up.
All right.
We're going to change Oakland back to what
Yes, we're going to do that. Yes, we are.
Don't do that.
We can't do that with her in office.
Can't do it.
We got to get rid of her.
Can't do it.
You know, she's got to go.
Got it. I like that one. I like that. Next.
All right.
It's time for her to go. I think it's been long enough for us to figure that out.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
He showed up, what was it, 20 minutes late for registering to be a candidate? Yep. Right out of the gate, it was bad news. It's like, you can't even show up on time to be mayor of a major U.S. city. I mean, right out of the gate, it's like, you got to be kidding me. So
she is a tardy Teletubby. No, she didn't show up on time. That's why the FBI is investigating the fact that the local 21 union members illegally deleted the footage that would have proved Thao entered the building well after 5. They also proved that her signatures arrived well after 6. But we've already proved that with a series of emails. But somehow, some way, Thao escaped the scrutiny from the Public Ethics Department. Maybe because they're also staffed by local 21 union members who endorsed Thao. This amount of corruption is why we have the FBI all up in our business.
it was like, I didn't know who she was. I was like, that doesn't smell good.
All right. All right.
She's come in and she's basically destroyed what was beginning to be a better place. I know that we can get this city back to where it used to be and where it can be and be a better place. And we've got to get rid of these council members that are sitting on their butts and enriching their own personal selves. We got to take care of this and we got to get it done because it cannot get worse. I feel like I'm in a third world country like Haiti at times, the way that things are going, and I don't like it. And she is really raping our city by not doing her job.
Yes, she
And
is.
she's arrogant.
Oh, yes,
she has
is.
no humility
None.
whatsoever.
No humility.
She's not coming to the people, trying to meet with people, trying to have meetings with the community. No way. Somebody who is really concerned about fixing the problem, they would have their staff, they would have people out in the community. Most of my neighbors, when we get together, we talk, they've signed petitions to get her out. We weren't born yesterday. We know what's going on. We understand all of the politics that are going on. And we need to clean up the city council and get some members in there who are willing to work and get Oakland back on its feet again. It's a beautiful, beautiful city.
All right. And, you know, needs someone with vision to really bring folks together collectively. And I wish her the best, but I don't think being the mayor of Oakland is the best thing for her or the best thing for Oakland.
Good name.
All right.
She got a check.
That's all.
And she's done nothing for
Should've
Oakland.
been there in the first place.
She got up on the podium and everybody voted for her, but you go over to Vietnam and you
I didn't vote for her.
make deals. What you doing for Oakland and you the mayor? Hello. And the crime, get out.
Get out.
All right. All right.
I don't like
She's not
this.
doing her job. And there's all these homeless people and roads are not being fixed. She's playing politics. I don't like that.
All right.
Why are you signing the recall the mayor?
I'm signing because I've been here since 1985 and I've never seen Oakland looking like it's looking now. Never. She got to go.
She got to go.
All right.
She got to go. Oh, one more.
All right.
Why you think that the mayor should? Oh, this is a good one.
Because she ain't focused on nothing. Her whole campaign in the beginning, I said she shouldn't have been in here in the first place. Her whole campaign was talking about school parks. But we got all of these homeless people. We got people that's don't have no jobs. You know, it's real problems here. We got potholes in the street. Crime is at the highest it's ever been. Right, but she talking about it's at 40%. I seen her on the news the other week talking about it was a 40% drop in rate. I'm like, in crime. I'm like, I don't know what area she going to, maybe where she stay at. But if she comes to the real Oakland is going through turmoil.
That's
You
right.
can't go downtown no more. You can't even gotta take an Uber when you go downtown just to leave your car safe. You know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy. Like, she needs to be recalled because she hasn't focused on anything. We don't have a chief of police. The only thing that was actually rooted and grounded here. She shouldn't even be mayor because how you come to this city and tell this city the best way to operate and you're not from here?
Stockton.
You didn't go to no elementaries here. You didn't go to no middle schools here. You didn't go to no high schools here. You didn't go to no junior colleges or colleges here. You didn't do anything that would have rooted you to be a part of Oakland to say this is how it should function or this is how it needs to flow. Oakland, we don't get nothing. You close the Denny's on Hagenberger. In-N-Out's about to close. You close the dining rooms for all of the Taco Bells in the local Bay Area. That's outrageous. You telling me there's nothing that you can do to put a stop to that? Maybe if we had a chief of police or somebody that cared enough to put one in, not somebody that's gonna do a whole year almost of her being in office, and we don't have a chief of police. That's crazy.
We do have one now.
All right.
We do have a chief of police now, but we didn't for a long time. And while we didn't have a chief of police, crime raised in Oakland to the point where we lost countless businesses, countless tax revenue. That revenue has now affected our budget. Our budget is now on the brink of bankruptcy to the point where we're celebrating selling the city's value assets like the stadium on a hope and a prayer that maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to raise the money in time. Y'all know what it is. We have a job to do in November. Just like you saw the elders sitting on the porch. What she say? We know what y'all doing in City Hall. We weren't born yesterday, and we're not stupid. And we are going to fix it. We're absolutely 1,000% going to fix this. The progressives who've made no progress, they're cooked. They're done. Just like tile, they're toast. But who are the new people who will be elected? And what are they going to do for this city? And what will we as neighbors do to make sure that we hold everyone accountable for performing? No more free rides, no more photo ops, no more underperforming politicians. We need real leaders in City Hall who know what the heck they're doing. And we're going to elect them. We're going to elect them this fall. God willing, Gotham Oakland, good night. I love you all. Please, if you have not yet, please like, subscribe, help the algorithm out. If you're on X and you're watching this, like it and repost it. I post to X and I post to YouTube. I usually put it on X first because that's where I have the most followers in my platform. But share these videos around if you like them. If you don't like them, leave a comment about what you don't like. Constructive criticism, no soggy bullshit. And if you do like it, let me know why. If you got my number, hit me up. If you have any suggestions for stories or things that you would like us to cover, please leave a comment or you can email me at gothamoakland@gmail.com. Once again, I love you. Good night. Peace out.
Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here.